It's Friday afternoon, 3 days after the university's main building fire, and the adjacent dorm, Teresian Hall, is deemed safe enough for the students to return for the first time. They can go in for just 15 minutes to grab some essentials.
But instead of just lining up, first come, first serve, I want it to be very orderly up there, so I'm gonna call names.
Tuesday night, when the dorms were filling with smoke, the students didn't have time to grab a change of clothes, or for some, even a pair of shoes.
Nadira Elliott. Nadira, okay.
We don't want you to step on anything, so if you don't have closed toe or tennis shoe or something like that, step off to the side here and let me know room number and where I can find your shoes.
Many of the students offer hugs to each other as they wait for their names to be called, and in the middle of the action is a reporter for the campus newspaper, The Lakefront.
I know that you're going to get in for 15 minutes. What are the first things you're going to pack?
My books and my notes, because I have 2 finals on Monday because I'm graduating, so definitely.
Jovana Nadowski, who is from Serbia, is a journalism major at Our Lady of the Lake, and she's working on the biggest story of her budding career.
So I guess we'll see when we get in there.
State your name and your classification.
Christina Rangel, senior.
Major.
Public relations major, English minor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a story that Nadowski found herself in the middle of when the fire broke out.
I was in my room actually starting to type a paper, and then they kicked us out. I thought it was a prank, so I just took my purse without anything, basically.
Like many students, Nadowski is displaced by the fire, and she also has schoolwork and finals. But instead of dealing with those problems, she's working on the newspaper.
I'm putting my work aside, schoolwork aside, because I want this issue to get out and be the best one ever, even though we don't have, our office.
The Lakefront office was on the 3rd floor of the main building and was lost in the fire, along with the paper's computers, software, design templates, and more. But the newspaper staff didn't quit. They regrouped. And with a newly promoted editor, Tessa Benavides, they decided they needed to put out one more issue.
I need to know what's been completed so far. I know Dave wrote the dedication. It's done. Janina wrote.
We have an obligation to the students to cover what their concerns are and what truly affects them and what they are feeling at this moment. And that can be covered by the professional media, but not in the same aspect that we can. And so I think we would have blamed ourselves had we not pulled together.
The students scrambled and created a makeshift newspaper office, and they got Best Buy to donate new digital cameras and computers. The faculty advisor for the Lakefront, Kay O'Donnell, said there was never a question about publishing after the fire.
The students came to me early Wednesday morning when we all were gathering for the service, and they were already talking about the stories. They had already been gathering quotes Tuesday night during the fire, taking photos. Not really sure that they were going to be putting out an issue then, but by Wednesday morning they had already determined they were going to put out an issue.
O'Donnell says she's beyond being proud of her pupils. She's watched them grow overnight from being student journalists into the real thing.
They're rising to it and learning from it. They're making the most of the experience as it affects them, and they're learning more about journalism in 3 and 4 days than they could have learned possibly a year or 2 of classes, maybe all of their classes. You can't replicate this experience for them.
The special fire coverage edition of the Lakefront will hit the Our Lady of the Lake campus newsstands later today. David Martin Davies, Texas Public Radio News.